Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest and greatest episode of Game Rivals. I am one of your hosts, Maximilian X, and with me, as always, is the man with the plan, the man who always seeks the next treasure from El Dorado. It's Sean Templar. How's it going, Sean?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm pretty sure people already know what that reference is to. If they caught you on stream last week, and if not, um, they will get it when we do what we've been playing.
Yeah.
It's been kind of a slow week, so our apologies if this episode is going to be a little bit short. But there hasn't been a lot of big announcements or big reveals. I guess everybody's holding all their cards until the Game Awards, which is, if you're listening to this as this episode drops, tomorrow night, or in the middle of the night if you're in Europe, or actually at night if you're listening to us from the US. And if you're listening to us after the fact, wow, wasn't that something? Wasn't that reveal amazing? I did not expect that world premiere. Did you? I didn't.
But I'm confused because this episode goes live the day before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing that for the people that listen to our episodes after it went live.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, there is some stuff to talk about at least. So that's good. Actually, since we're talking about the Game Awards, let's start with that little bit of a unexpected twist. So Geoff Keighley, the host, the master of ceremonies
Of the Keighley
the
Awards.
of the Keighley Awards, or the Keighleys, as I like to call it, the Dorito Pope, as the internet
I
ordained
totally
him
forgot about that.
a couple of years ago. Um,
I forgot about
yeah,
that.
he got into some, I guess, would you just call it hot water? Um, he got into a little bit of controversy about a thing that we've been covering for the past year now, with the whole Activision Blizzard unpleasantness, to say it very nicely, and fire Bobby Kotick.
We've
And
spent a lot of words on the situation, I guess.
we have spent very, very many words on the situation, and I honestly am surprised that we're still talking about this, especially in this capacity, because recently, Geoff Keighley had an interview with, I want to say, the Washington Post. I was about to say Vice, but that's not the case. He had an interview with the Washington Post where, Activision Blizzard came up because they have some nominations at the awards. Like company unpleasantness aside, right? At the end of the day, the people working on the games, um, some of them are scumbags, but some of them were legitimately there because they love the games that they make. They love being game developers, and I respect that. It is very cool to make a video game. It is a lot of hard work, and getting recognized for that hard work is something important that I don't think a lot of people um, maybe not understand or even appreciate. So it is nice that the Game Awards exists for this purpose. So they were talking about, the whole Activision Blizzard thing, and Geoff Keighley brought up that that they're navigating the situation with Activision Blizzard, and they were going to be taking a neutral stance on it at the Game Awards, where they want to support the developers, obviously, but they don't condone essentially what the higher ups, fire Bobby Kotick, have wrought. I will speak it into existence if I have to. Um, so yeah, it was kind of weird for him to say that in an interview, that the Game Awards will be taking a neutral stance on it. Which is weird because when the whole Kojima Konami thing happened, he was very quick to
He was very
call out
vocal
Konami.
about it. Yeah.
Very vocal. I mean,
Yeah.
literally at the Game Awards,
Yep.
he called Konami out.
They even did
Um,
like an honorary award like the year after, I think. And
mhm,
then they
mhm.
like he even mentioned that Konami tried to stop him from getting the award the year before. So he's like very vocal about it, almost like um, calling them out and all sorts of stuff. And I mean, like as a journalist, I think you need to try to keep some neutrality because you don't want to be all biased.
Yeah. So on the other hand, I get it because Kojima is his friend, and he felt like he needed to stick up for him, especially for all the hard work he has done for Konami, regardless of his work ethics at Konami and whatever beef he had with Konami, he still wanted to stick up for his friend. So I get that part, but still, and also people were so quick to agree with Geoff Keighley on that. So the whole backlash on this is also kind of hypocritical from like everybody else. Don't get me wrong, him taking a neutral stance on it is understandable, but at the same time, also kind of feels hypocritical after what he did for Kojima. So I get where he's coming from. At the same time, one of the I think the company president, so not the CEO, but the company president of Activision Blizzard is on the board of the Game Awards. Just like every other company, every other big company from the industry has someone on the board of the Game Awards. I mean, for Nintendo, it was Reggie until he retired, and I think it's Doug Bowser now. So yeah, like every company, like big company, has someone on the board, and Activision Blizzard's president is still on that board. Why he wasn't removed from that position, I don't know. He's still there, and people are not happy about it, and people were not happy with the interview. And Geoff Keighley tried to damage control on his Twitter account. So he had posted a whole thread about it. I'm going to read a little bit of an excerpt from Kotaku. Basically, he said, there's no place for abuse, harassment, or predatory practices in any company or any community, which, again, that's true. He also went on to say, I also realize we have a big platform which can accelerate and inspire change. We are committed to that, but we all need to work together to build a better and more inclusive environment for everyone, so everyone feels safe to build the world's best games. End quote. Which is absolute 100% true, right? I mean, I don't think anybody can disagree with that statement, and it's good because right now, Activision Blizzard is not being featured in any capacity outside of the nominations. I don't know what they'll win, and I don't know how they'll, you know, tackle that when they have to show people receiving their rewards. If like Call of Duty wins an award in whatever they're nominated, I honestly do not remember what they're nominated in.
I
Could have brought
think
it up.
is it like if the awards are without a crowd, then it should be fine. If it's like if they do like online the acceptance speech, but if it's like with people, then they
Well,
but
it is in person, so there is an audience.
yeah,
Because
like if there's
every
actually an audience, they might actually get booed if they win something.
I don't know. Like, hang on a second, let me punch it up real quickly. Because again, I mean, you can boo them, but I don't know. It would be kind of in bad taste
Yeah, but
against the
like people,
developers.
yeah, but people sometimes don't make that distinction.
Distinction, I
Yeah,
know.
they're
Yeah.
like you get the end of the day, your pay gets signed by Activision Blizzard. You are working for a
Mhm.
horrible company. It doesn't matter that you don't have anything to do with the abuse. You're just working for this awful company. You should just walk out. I mean, like it's not that easy. I mean, at the end of the day, people fight hard to get these jobs, and it's not as simple as um, just leaving because it's not easy to get a job sometimes.
Mhm. I'm pretty sure that those that left out of their own volition from Activision Blizzard, I'm sure they'll be able to land on their feet, especially the ones in higher positions, because because it's a small industry. It's a
Yeah,
small industry. People talk. People know where people are from.
everybody knows
It's
each
not
other.
like exactly. It's not like they'll be blacklisted, except for the ones that basically did all the bad things.
Well, the bad thing is that they won't get blacklisted. They'll in the end they'll probably end up in another executive position at another company because that's generally how these things go.
Yeah, joy,
Happy days.
happy days indeed. So we'll see. I can't really find anything right now about like what games they're nominated for. Yeah, I can't find anything right now. But they are nominated for some stuff, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. So that was kind of weird, honestly. What isn't weird, but probably is what people are weirding out about, freaking out about, is that Sony is working on their own version of Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this just before we went live. Like the funny thing is I talked about this last year around this period where I said that Jim Ryan in an interview with a Russian news outlet had said, "We are working on our own answer to Game Pass. We do not have anything to show as of yet, but we are definitely working on it because we see the market and the value and the value that customers hold to it." And then over like today or yesterday, Bloomberg publishes an article, and then everybody goes wild. It's like, oh my god! Wow. I'm like, but we already knew this, people. So why is it a big deal now?
I think part of it is because of the details of what they call Spartacus internally at
Yeah,
Sony. I don't know why they call it Spartacus, but sure, maybe it's a God of War reference. Um, it's definitely a movie reference, so I'm not really 100% sure why they chose it. But yeah, hang on, let me grab this real quick. So yeah, so the Spartacus subscription will also come with various flavors depending on how much users are willing to spend. So basically, it'll have tiers. It'll cover a bunch of different games. No day one releases though for new games.
nope,
It will be available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5
which is
eventually,
good.
which is good. So it starts with PlayStation 4. It'll include, let me see, the cheapest tier will look a lot like the PlayStation Plus service. The second tier will add PlayStation 4 and eventually PlayStation 5 games. And the third tier will offer extended demos and game streaming, whatever that means,
I
as
think
well
it's
as PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and even PlayStation Portable games, which is like, okay, that's a really interesting thing to add.
I think it's because initially they said that what they're basically going to do is they're going to combine PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus into one subscription service, and that's
Ah,
where
okay.
the tier comes in with game streaming and PS1, 2, and 3 games. Because I think now with PlayStation Now you can play those games.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's probably what they're doing. I don't know if it's a proper answer to Game Pass. It depends on the second tier of PS4 and PS5 games. I mean, like if the games get added with months or a year delay, yeah, then there's no. If they add Godfall to it on the release, there's like nobody's waiting for that. But if
Godfall is actually out. If you have PlayStation Plus right now, and you're listening to this. It is available to you right now for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So if you want to try it, you can. I guess I have no idea why you want to.
well, I have something about that as well, which I read this morning.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it is not the full game that you're getting. It is a Well, the developer says it's not, but basically they made this cut down demo that's worth $15, and it has like three end game activities, high level characters with high end gear, so you can get a
Hmm.
feel and taste for the game. And if you really like it, then you can upgrade to the full version of the game. And a lot of people are like fans were angry about it because they're like, normally a PS Plus game is like a full
It's
game,
yeah,
is not a trial or anything. And the developer's like, no, 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 but it's not a trial. It's just like a slice that we put together that showcases the best parts of the game. And they're also going to do the release on PC and the Epic Game Store in the coming week for
it's a
free.
light version.
Yeah, so it's basically a cut down demo or a trial version.
Wait, is it? Did he say that it's coming for free on PC as well?
Yeah, but it's only available for a limited time for free on PC, and then it costs $15.
Yeah, that is bullcrap.
I know.
Oh my goodness gracious! It's not even a good game. Gosh
It's
darn
not. No.
it. Please, please don't waste your time and gigabytes of um download capacity on this. Just play the other stuff that's on PS Plus. You'll be happier for it. But yeah, um, this sounds interesting enough. Depending on how much it's gonna cost,
Yeah.
it's very interesting. I'm very intrigued with the PSP angle. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to be emulating those games, but stranger things have happened.
I think the reason that they're adding PSP emulation is because it's really easy to pull off.
This also explains why they were so unbelievably eager to take down all those stores because then they can charge you for it again.
I guess. Yeah. But I
I mean,
think,
they still took down the PSP store, but you can still access the PlayStation 3 store on your
yeah,
PlayStation 3
and a Vita.
and Vita, so
Yeah.
that's something. They didn't add Vita to this. That's very interesting, isn't it?
But maybe
There
that's
was no
because there's
mention
still
of Vita.
games that are being added to the Vita. Like there were.
No, because I mean, yeah, smaller developers still are still making games for it. Um, but I don't think that would have stopped them from releasing it on this service. So, and there's a bunch of old games they can always rely on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm really curious to see how this is gonna go. How do you think it'll be at the Game Awards? That's my question.
It would be the
Because there's a
perfect.
bunch of stuff that's rumored that might show up at the Game Awards. I think this might be one of it.
I think it's the perfect place to announce it. Um, but if they don't, then they'll probably do like a state of play or a PlayStation showcase where they will announce it. But I think this is the best moment to do it because you're basically like capitalizing on the moment because the rumors out in the wild and people are really curious about it, and then doing an announcement next week around it would, I think, like help out really because it's
Mhm.
already in out in the world and people are already talking about it instead of just being silent about it for months and then suddenly being like, oh, and this is our new streaming service or game service, the one rumors were talked about months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the perfect moment.
It would be, wouldn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
there's a bunch of rumors going around that what is going to be announced at the Game Awards. That's one of them, obviously. The other thing is also that, gosh, darn, there was a bunch of rumors that might be announced. There are a bunch of games that people are thinking is going to get an announcement at the Game Awards. There were rumors about Chrono Cross, this PlayStation 1 classic JRPG, the pseudo sequel to Chrono Trigger from the Super Nintendo, is going to get a remaster or a remake that'll be announced at the Game Awards. I'm not 100% sure, but like today, a collaboration dropped for a mobile game called Another Eden with a crossover event with Chrono Cross of all things. Like it kind of comes out of the blue, and it makes absolutely no sense because Square Enix hasn't done anything Chrono Cross since Chrono Cross released. I think there might have been some concerts, but you know,
mm,
concerts are a dime a dozen. So it's kind of out of the blue, and this is giving more, credence to that. Um, there's also another Sony, not really a rumor, but there was this patent that Sony filed for a handheld device
I saw that. Yes.
that is Switch like because everybody is doing the cool thing now. like, oh, let's do it Switch like, and Steam Deck and stuff like that.
Even Razer released like a concept device, a
Yeah,
developer kit.
with Qualcomm,
Yeah, and
the
that looks like
makers
a
of the
Switch.
Snapdragon.
Yeah.
Man, seriously, not even a good one too. Like the
Well, it
from
has a
the
120 hertz OLED display, full HD, so it's a better screen than the Switch OLED.
that may be, but it's still a mobile processor playing mobile games, not console games.
I think the problem with that market is that um,
They're focusing on the wrong thing.
no, well, the funny thing is like the mobile gaming space is huge. There's literally billions in it because I know that like Fortnite brings in or used to bring in. I don't know how the situation is now, but it used to bring in billions, and a lot of those sales came out of mobile.
Hmm.
So like if you're looking at the situation and you're being like logical, you would say like as a game developer you would want to make games for this audience because there's a lot of money in that audience and that market is growing. But for some reason, like rarely does a big AAA developer make a game for a mobile device, and I think it just has to do with fragmentation, that the market is so fragmented because there are like a gazillion devices out there. It's like PC development. You have to optimize for so many devices. You
Hmm.
can't just bring out the true potential of your game because it has to run on a potato and it has to run on the latest Galaxy phones or whatever. And like so you have to strike a balance there. And I think that
Yeah.
like that's why that market is just, I wouldn't say doomed to fail, but it's like really hard to make something that sticks out in that market because it's just so complicated. It's not like, oh, I have a Switch, I have a PS5 and an Xbox Series X version, and I'm just going to make my game and port it to all these three platforms. No, you just have to put so much more effort into it, and developers don't have infinite money, so eventually they're like, yeah, you know what, we might as well not do it because it's just not worth it.
Oh, they still do it. They just have dedicated developers for it that do something on the low budget. And
Yeah, but that's
I
not the
think like
same.
the most like for the most successful games are basically the games that do literally the same thing. The gotcha games. The stuff with the collectibles and all that stuff. Because people like collectibles, whether they're digital or real,
Yeah,
and that will never go out of style, and that will always make money.
yeah,
I mean, even Call of Duty and everything else has embraced that. Apex Legends has embraced that with all the cosmetic stuff and the loot boxes and the loot crates and what do you call it, and the battle passes. It's all the same thing. It's all from mobile. That didn't
mm,
originate on consoles. That's how they're making their money, and that does not necessarily mean that they have to have something that is elaborate and good looking. And most games are made with the touchscreen in mind. And the developer kit that they made for the Qualcomm Razer thing does have touch capability, so you can play mobile games on it. So it has access to the Google Play Store. But the problem is most of those games are played vertically, not horizontally.
yeah,
So it's kind of weird having this device that is a smaller thing than this, but you have to constantly play like this,
yep,
and the controllers are non-removable.
yep,
So it's kind of weird. I don't know why Qualcomm thinks that they can step into the ring like that. I mean, Razer already stepped into the ring with their own, um, gaming mobile phone, which honestly I don't think it's like the prettiest thing on the world, but it is pretty powerful for what it is.
yeah,
And I think that one also uses a Qualcomm chip in it, but it's like not as powerful as the chip that they currently have in this dev unit that's going around, and it's not like the final design, but at least from the initial what's the word I'm looking for? Impressions that I've read and heard, like the buttons aren't perfect, and the analog sticks aren't, well, the buttons are fine, but the triggers aren't really great. They're apparently very mushy and clicky, or clicky and mushy.
It's the same.
Um, yeah, same thing. So but it's still a developer kit. It's not like a final hardware, that
No.
will go out to consumers if they do decide to go forward with it. They're just doing this to get developers interested in the idea. And then my question is, well, if developers get into the idea, um, do they think that they'll have like exclusive games for that system? I don't think so, because if you're a mobile developer, why on earth would you make something exclusive for one mobile device when you
I
can make so much more money if you just do what you just said, and allow it to run on a potato and allow it to have touch controls.
Yeah. I mean, like, there are some developers that make really good mobile games, but they're, like, really rare.
Hmm. And I can't even believe I'm gonna say this, but the developers of Genshin Impact MiHoYo actually know what they're doing, because their games, run well. To be fair, their games tend to require a more high-end mobile phone. So if you have like a budget phone, it will run on it, but I don't think it'll run on it optimally.
Mm.
But at the same time, if you connect a controller to that game is made to not be played with a controller when you're playing on a mobile device. Even if you connect a controller to it, it doesn't pick up the controller. I tried, believe me.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's super weird.
Oh, I wouldn't expect that.
But if you play on PlayStation 4, you can use the controls, because that version is made to be played on the PlayStation. Still waiting for that Switch version though, but I don't think it's ever gonna come, but who knows. Um but yeah, like they know what's up. They know how to like optimize for the mobile platform. And they make a lot of money. Like they
Yeah.
make a lot of money on Genshin Impact. They make a lot of money on their previous game, Honkai Impact Third. And both games look surprisingly good for what they are. Especially Genshin Impact. Um, like, so there are developers out there that are willing to take the risks. The question is well, not so much the question, but the point is there are not a lot of those, like you said.
Yeah.
So the question is, will those developers support something like this Qualcomm's Razer thing
I don't think
um,
so.
in the long run? I don't know.
I don't know.
Right
I don't
now,
think
it's
so.
in their hands. Um, I don't know if we can really. I honestly, I agree with you. I don't think so. I just don't know if that's the reality, because a lot of people are like, "Well, the Switch is doomed to fail," and then
Yeah, but, like,
it just
even
it just kept being successful.
I mean, I talk about that I listen to the Play Watch Listen podcast a lot, and
Mm,
on the podcast, there's Mike Bithell, who's a game developer himself, and he gives insight into how Game Pass works, for example, and how when new players enter the market and they want to charter developers for their platform, they just go out to developers and they offer them stuff. So, like in this case, he was talking about a pretty big tech company that just went to all sorts of developers and said, "What's your dream game? We just have a bag of money we need to burn, and if you want to make your dream game, we're here to fund it. The only things is we want it to be exclusive on our platform, you know." But, like, even if that doesn't persuade some developers to do it, because you would say funding is always an issue, but even if that doesn't persuade developers to exclusively make a game for a certain platform, you start to wonder, then what is, you know?
yeah.
How is, like, a Snapdragon device going to win over all these developers if others have tried it by throwing money at the issue and they were like, I'm good.
I mean, look at Epic. They're still throwing money at it, and they're losing money hand over fist.
Yeah.
They won't be making a profit on the Epic Game Store until what, 2026?
Yeah, but they can
They
take the
can
loss.
afford it.
Yeah, they can
Yeah,
afford it. Yeah.
yeah, they can afford it. I mean, for now.
Yeah.
Let's see how long that lasts, because
Yeah.
the free weekly games, like the quality have kind of dipped.
Yeah.
Uh
I don't even look at them anymore.
yeah, it's kind of sad. Like I think this week's we'll have to check. I think this week's is actually pretty good, pretty solid. And I have to remember to claim them before they're gone. Um but the same thing goes for, I mean, we talked about, like sales of consoles. And you would not believe which console one sales during the Black Friday sales. It wasn't the Switch.
It was the Xbox Series X, right?
It was the Xbox Series S. You know
Yeah,
why?
because of Halo, probably.
No, because it's available. It's actually for sale.
Oh, really?
You
I
can
thought.
actually, yeah, you can buy.
Oh,
Like if you walk into a store right now, I'm pretty sure you can see a stack of Series X and just pick one up and buy it.
yeah. I can imagine. I mean, like, for Halo Infinite, it's perfect.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you don't necessarily need a powerful system. You just need one that runs it at 120 frames per second, and the Series S can do that.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of curious how Xbox development is still going at developers because I think they are kind of forced to like use the Series S as a base so that at the very least they can, maximize the output on the Series S and then optimize it for Series X. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a
Me neither.
developer.
I don't.
Who's
Yeah,
to
I don't
say?
know.
But it feels like they would have to do that because if they optimize for the Series X and then try to get it to run on Series S at 120 frames, they might run into some problems and it have to take some longer time to optimize. Where I think the opposite would be relatively easier to fix. But that's me. I don't know. I don't know the pipelines of modern game development. It's been a while since I had to learn stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's. I mean, it is interesting to see, and kudos to Microsoft on that one because they actually like. I think we've talked about this before in the past that the Series S is kind of brilliant in its own way, despite the fact that in terms of costs, they're probably taking a bigger hit than Sony is with the all digital version because it's like 200 and what is it like $300 for the Series S?
Three. I don't know.
I
300.
think it's
It's
under
around.
two. It's 300 or 350 or something like that.
I think it's around 300 because the gap was $100 because you had like the PS4 and the PS5 digital and disc is $100, and I think with the Series S and X is also $100.
Something like that. I kind of can't remember. Let me check it real quickly. Series S is 299,
Yeah, it's 299. Yeah,
299 euros. Yeah, new. And you can get it right now. You can buy it. You can order one from Game In, and you can have it home. Uh, well, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's well, basically within 24 hours.
yeah.
That's insane. I mean, I don't think you can buy like a Switch right now and have it in the next day. I think I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, it is. It is available. That's weird. Maybe not the OLED. Oh, also the OLED. Never mind. Okay, funky. Huh? Which begs the question: Can you buy the PlayStation? Nope.
Of course not.
I'm like, oh wait, did the fortunes change? Of course not. Nope. And also not for the Series X. That's still sold out.
Yeah,
Yeah, so if you want to get something, get a Switch. Regardless of which Switch, apparently the OLED is also available, or get a Xbox Series S version, which again is like a really good deal. If you get that and you get Game Pass, because I think right now I don't know if it's still there, but during Black Friday they had this deal for Game Pass where you can buy it for $100 and it's for a whole year
I
of Game
think
Pass Ultimate.
there's this hack that you can get Game Pass for 3 years for really cheap, and Microsoft has put it on their own website how to do it. I don't know if that's cheaper or not.
What the? Oh, I'll need to take a look at
That
that.
was like a thing they did a while back because a friend of mine kept saying like, if you want Game Pass, I know how to get it for cheap for 3 years. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Easy there,
Yeah, he's
Kimosabi.
like a really excited Xbox player.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody has their passion, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying- Um, yeah. So I think the only thing left is a little bit of a Battlefield update. I didn't know how to segue to that. I apologize, but
It's okay. So, besides Battlefield losing 70% of its player base on Steam, I think, in the last week,
mhm,
because of the ongoing issues and all sorts of things, they've done a restructuring within DICE, or basically with the Battlefield franchise. So what they did is they've put Vince Zampella, who we know as the former studio head of the Titanfall studio,
mhm.
Respawn, in charge of the Battlefield franchise. They've kind of made like the Battlefield universe out of it, and they are adding multiple studios to the Battlefield development to create unique new Battlefield experiences. I always hate terms. So yeah. Um, the first thing is that there's a studio that's being built in Seattle, which has a former Halo lead designer or the Halo director in charge of the studio. That's going to help out with a new Battlefield experience.
Mhm.
Then Ripple Effect, which is another studio that created the Portal mode for Battlefield, is going to keep on supporting Portal, but they're also going to work on another Battlefield experience. There are hints or rumors that it's a free to play battle royale experience, kind of like Warzone. Then DICE will keep on working on Battlefield 2042 together with Ripple Effect. The studio head of DICE has left. He's going chasing other ventures outside of EA, whatever
Mhm.
that means. Um,
New studio, maybe.
yeah, who knows? So basically, it's like a whole shake-up within, and they want to bring the Battlefield franchise to multiple formats. So I think there's something like movies or internet videos or short form content or all sorts of stuff in the planning, because it just really feels like they're going to take the Activision approach with Call of Duty and just try to churn out a new Battlefield every year. I honestly hope they don't, because it's not worth it. I mean, like if they release Battlefield in this state and it's already horrible, imagine doing that every year.
That sounds
Um,
like a bad time.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, good grief. You know what? The whole universe just reeks of desperation, honestly, in my opinion. Because whenever a developer or a publisher is like about like, yeah, we're gonna do this universe thing, it kind of feels like they're just scrambling for an answer. Um, the only thing I can say is that I'm glad that they did not bring up freaking like NFTs and freaking crypto crap. 'Cause if they did, I would have like said, you know what, like Ripperoni Battlefield, the Ripperoni EA. I wish them well, but no, not me. Uh, Here's the thing: I'm not like I'm joking. I joke about like, oh, like, are you sure you like Battlefield? But I joke right about this. I don't want to see developers, having to literally not see their family for years on end and then bring out something that people like are gonna bag on and hate on because it's still a lot of hard work that they put in. I like to see them succeed. I like to see like gamers get the games that they feel like they deserve and that they do deserve for supporting a franchise for so long. I kind of wish higher ups would just back the flip off sometimes and just let the creatives do what they do best and be creative.
Yeah,
Because I know that the developers can probably do like something really cool. I'm still waiting on a new Bad Company. Like I am legit, like a legit. Bring up back. You know what? At this point, bring up Bad Company 1, 2 remasters.
I
I
think
will
that
eat that up.
I think it is in the planning that I think the studio in Seattle is supposed to work on single player experiences for Battlefield.
Okay.
So
Just don't pull a rock star and we'll be good.
yeah.
Or a CD Project Red.
The funny
Don't
thing
think we haven't
about
forgotten.
Rockstar is that they released a couple of patches for the GTA collection, and
And a
they've
bunch of
post
apologies.
yeah, and they've postponed the physical release because they really want to make sure that the game is really polished. So, like, I think they delayed it with 10 days or something like that. But the Switch physical version is coming out next year now.
Yeah, the patches for the Switch version are also right behind the patches for the bigger consoles, but at least they're on their way. I honestly don't know how they're gonna fix it in general, but at least they're fixing it.
Yeah,
Um, and that's good because I think the first patch that they released had like 100 bug fixes, which is like really 100.
yeah,
You had 100 bugs at the very least, and you still allowed it to release in that state. That is money grubbing on a level unbecoming to a company like that. But then
yeah.
again, companies they want the dollar bills, so
They do.
yeah. I mean, at least they're doing something, but I just wish they just understood taking a risk and taking a delay, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's okay, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't bought it, and I don't think I'm gonna buy it anytime soon.
I'll
Because
buy it in a sale in a couple of months when I know it's really polished.
yeah, I mean, if it's €5, I'll pick it up. Sure.
Then you can wait a
Oh
long
yeah,
time.
I am not even kidding. Like, unless it's like below €10, I ain't picking anything up.
That's
Because
okay.
I
I
mean, again, I'm not dissing the developers. It's just they were put in an awkward position, and they also kind of, to be fair, they also kind of have a reputation of not putting out the best product. But that doesn't mean that the people that worked on it didn't do their darndest.
Yeah.
I have to believe that at least.
Oh well.
Well, all right. I think that is about it
Yes.
for the news, unless there's like some sneaky breaking news coming through.
I don't know. If anything, I wish I had some, but I don't.
No, the only other thing that I can say is that the first update to the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack is coming December 10th, which will bring Paper Mario, which I like, and I'm kind of looking forward to that.
I
So
read that.
hopefully the emulation on that is a little bit better than what's on the rest, and I hope that they fix the emulation on the rest. That would be nice. I haven't encountered any issues playing any of the N64 games. I know that some people have, so there's that. But other than that, oh, and Reggie is actually going to be presenting an award at the Game Awards.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. They always keep reeling him back in, and the first thing that people ask is, "Where's Mother 3?" Even though he doesn't work at the company anymore, give him some break, man. He's retired. Give him a, cut him some slack.
Yeah.
All right, but with that, we will be right back with what we've been playing. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second and final segment of this episode of Game Rivals, which is, of course, what we've been playing. So, Sean Templar, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a bit more of Far Cry 6, and I mean it's a really fun game. It just keeps on going, and I just finished the first region. So now I'm like at the first start of the game. There's like this mini island that you begin on, and you kind of like learn the basics, and then
Mhm.
you get like the leader of the resistance telling you like there are three families that we need to help join our cause, and with that way we can overthrow the dictator. Blah 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 blah. And then I got the first family to join me, and now I'm working on the second family. It was just like in a different region, different environment. It's really cool. Different types of missions. I'm also getting more and more weapons and more attachments to upgrade it. One of the things that I do miss is that like there are you can equip different types of bullets to your weapons because there are different types of enemies. So there's like enemies that are wearing armor, or there are enemies that are not wearing armor. So you have to use different types of bullets to deal more damage. But for example, I have this DMR, or this like semi sniper rifle, to put it that way, and it has armor piercing rounds on it, and I can because I headshot an armored enemy, but I can also headshot a non-armored enemy. So it doesn't really make a difference for me, you know? And I have like my assault rifle, which is on single shot, and I use that for non-armored enemies. but if you shoot armored enemies in the face, they still die. So it's like it doesn't feel like I really have to use all these weapons, and there are so many weapons in the game, but there's not really like that I'm forced to use them, which is a shame
Also
because I
different bullet types, right?
yeah, you have like
Yeah.
armor piercing bullets or poison bullets or explosive bullets, or you have all sorts. I don't have the exotic ones yet, like the armor, the explosive bullets or the poison or whatnot bullets. But I wish like that they created more of these gameplay situations in which you're really forced to use certain types of weapons. Because I basically use like the same weapons that I had at the start of the game. I just found newer ones that are higher level, but it's not like it's changing up the combat a lot. So that's like
Yeah.
a small thing that's bugging me, but it's okay. It's okay.
That's
Um,
okay.
yeah, I mean it's a Ubisoft game. Come on, you know. But yeah,
As
there's some
long as
cool.
it doesn't have Ubisoft towers, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. It has like these surprise missions in it. There was one mission that I had to drop off some pills at multiple locations, and then when I got to the second one, I got ambushed by the dictator, and then I was so in I had to watch this torture scene where they pull out your teeth and they're trying to figure out, yeah, I know, where they try to figure out
Ugh.
where the resistance is and blah 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 blah. So that was like, oh, okay, this is pretty interesting. um but yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend the game. It's a fun game to play. You can co-op it with friends if you want. It's just
Yeah.
a big nice open world game you can enjoy. um, so yeah, if you're looking for something like that, that's a definite recommend. And then I I also started playing Halo Infinite multiplayer since it's free to play with a friend of mine. We played it on the PC.
Hmm.
I used to play Halo multiplayer on the Xbox in the day, so that was really nice with the controller. And I haven't played Halo multiplayer for years, but this feels really familiar, really balanced, really nice. Even for a noob like me, I could just get kills in. It has a nice variety of game modes, a nice variety of game maps.
Hmm.
Weapons are really balanced, at least from what I could experience. There's no like with Warzone, the meta is constantly changing, and it often gets to this point where there's only one specific weapon that's the best and everybody needs to use that weapon.
Yeah.
And here there's like a lot of different weapons you can use and they really work well. I really like that part about Halo. Yeah, the battle pass is still a bit grindy. I noticed I haven't bought the battle pass, but I noticed that like it's a bit grindy, but
It
they
takes a
said
lot of time.
they said they're gonna fix that. It runs really well. On 4K high, I was able to get almost near consistent 60 FPS. So it like rarely dropped like 1 or 2 frames. So I dropped the resolution to 2560 because I just wanted that locked 60. The friend of mine who I was just talking about, he played it on his Series X on 120 FPS, and he says like it's really nice and makes a big difference. So that's nice. And yeah, I think that's basically it. I still need to finish Yakuza 3, but I haven't gone play it because I was getting lost in Yara, killing or leading a revolution. So
Along with Huapo.
yeah, or with Chorizo, or I now have a new
Chorizo.
companion.
Oh,
He's a dog. His name is Boom Boom. He's also really funny.
another dog?
Yeah. So like Chorizo is like a disabled dog, so he's like on wheels, his
He's
back
so
legs.
cute.
He's really cute. And this one is Boom Boom. Is like a normal gray dog. Is is a funny dog. Is like you can pet your pets and you can feed them and you can interact with them. They're like little details in the game that make it really nice. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what I've been playing. What have you been playing?
Not a lot. I mean, still the same thing. I'm still playing Animal Crossing pretty much daily. I missed a few days here and there, mostly because of work and other unrelated stuff. But I try to log in every day because I want the gyroids. I can't get enough of the
Ah, yes, I
gyroids.
remember.
They are so freaking awesome. I love it.
I
I
remember.
have 3 rooms right now with different setups of gyroids playing music, and they're grooving to it, and they're playing music with the music, and they're complementing the music, and it's just awesome. I love gyroids. They're the best thing ever. They just
Nice.
they just heal your soul, you
Wow.
know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy
And
to hear that.
I was streaming recently, Animal Crossing, and I know that I it's surprising. So okay, little bit of story time. So I recently got a new gaming chair. If you may have not have noticed here, this thing right here. So if you're listening to it, it's a gamer chair. It's a black and red one. Um, it has the logo of the company on it, and it has those cushions on it, both for the lumbar and for the head. It's one of those, and I didn't even notice this, despite the fact that I already had this item in Animal Crossing. So Animal Crossing added a bunch of new items with the version 2.0 update that came out 4 weeks ago, and one of them is a gaming setup, so a gaming PC with four monitors, and one of them is a gaming chair. Now the chair does come in different colors, obviously, because gaming chairs come in different colors. I just happened to have gotten one from our good friend Liam. Again, shout outs to Liam, as always.
Our Animal
Um,
Crossing master.
our Animal Crossing master, our Horizons master, because he also likes Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh yeah,
Check out
yeah,
his stuff on his Instagram. He posts some really awesome Horizon
yeah.
photography, and it you can call it photography because it really looks like a photographer was in that environment. And he sent me a gaming chair. It was a black and red one, and I recently bought a black and red one. So I had this gaming chair in the game for a while, and I bought this one because it was Black Friday and they had Black Friday sales. I was actually gonna buy the blue one, but I was like, you know what? Red is more my color. It fits me better. It's a better complement to my facade and complexion. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get the red one instead. The black and red one. It's fine. It looks nice. So I put it together, and then I went on a stream the following day. So I was playing it, and I went upstairs. I was showing the stream my little humble abode in Animal Crossing, and I went upstairs where the gaming setup is with a gaming chair, and it's literally this chair. Every single detail is exactly the same, except for the one in Animal Crossing where the the accents, the lines, they're red on mine, but on in Animal Crossing, when you sit up, it lights up red. So
Oh
if it's
wow,
just standing there, the edges are black because it's off. When you sit on it, it lights up and it's red.
it's fancy.
I was like, I was losing my mind on stream. Like, if you go back to the VOD, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna clip it and put it on my YouTube and on my Instagram because I lost my I lost my marbles with it because like, oh my goodness, like, why is this the same chair? It's so creepy and uncanny. Oh, but I am happy with this chair. I love it. It's a GT player racing gaming chair. Took a while to put together. Wasn't that expensive? Thank you, Black Friday. And yeah, it was pretty good. The stream was really fun. You know, losing my mind. So I played that. I also played Kerbal Program.
Oh nice. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a actually it's been like over almost a year because the
Oh
last time I
damn.
played it was on stream. Um, so I played it again, and I don't know why and I don't know how, but I am grateful for it. A lot of people still dig watching Kerbal Space Program streams. So I instantly had a bunch of people just coming in on that one. Also had a raid come in, so I was really grateful for that. That was
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, I played a little bit of Kerbal Space Program. I started a new save file and I started a new career file because I just wanted to get back into the feel of things before I try and get to the moon. Um, yeah, because it's spelled MUN.
I know, I know. It's still just funny to hear.
Yeah, so I got some tips as always. Like the Kerbal Space Program community on Twitch is like one of the best because they're always ready to give you tips on how to do stuff and um put your mind at ease, like, because it seems like an impossible task to essentially do rocket science, even if it is like scaled down. It's still rocket science. It's not
Yeah.
easy putting together a competent spacecraft and having it, at the very least, even going into orbit, let alone to a whole celestial body um, that's orbiting the planet. Uh, you kind of get the respect. You kind of understand why, like the respect NASA and its scientists deserve, and every other, well, most other space companies. We won't mention certain other ones that are owned by billionaires. Although SpaceX actually does a good job, so kudos to them. But yeah, like space travel is like rocket science is hard,
Yeah.
and like rocket design is not an easy thing. So like respect to those that stuck around with Kerbal Space Program for all these years and still enjoy playing it and still hang out in the community and likes to support the community and puts out awesome like videos and tutorials on how you can get to the moon or go to other celestial bodies in the Kerbal solar system, because it is a whole solar system, and you can like send spacecrafts toward them if you know what you're doing. I did it once. I sent a satellite to orbit the sun,
Oh, nice.
which was so scary. Because no, because if you mess up once, right, it's just a matter of time that it's going to collide with a planet and or get caught into the well of the sun, the gravitational well of the sun, and then just basically spiral into the sun. So it was really cool to do that back then. I want to do something like that again. I want to go to the moon. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming it soon, but I will be streaming Kerbal Space Program more because I do miss it and I do love it. Um, and I have the ability to do so. So it's like, why not? I don't like playing it for a while and then stopping and then playing it for a while and coming back, because then I lose that feeling of how to build ships and to navigate them. Um, so yeah, that's what I've been mostly playing. I also played Burnout Paradise because I got it on sale during the cyber deals, Black Friday, and I won a copy of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2,
Ah, I
the deluxe
remember.
version.
Nice.
Yeah, playing that as well. Enjoyed the crap out of it. Uh, Again, Tony Hawk Pro Skating. How the heck did I play this when I was a kid? I had way more dexterity to pull off the tricks. Now I'm like, can I even pull off the tricks? Oh my goodness, the finger gymnastics that I have to
Oh
do to
man.
pull off the tricks, and it's like, oh, it feels so good. And then the soundtrack, oh my goodness, the soundtrack is so nostalgic. I listen to that stuff and it's like, oh man, I'm back. I'm back in the year 2000 and I'm playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on the PlayStation and using the unlock code to play as Spider-Man. Dang it, I really
Ah,
missed that.
man, nice.
Oh. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. More Animal Crossing, Burnout Paradise, went into space, and shredded some rails,
Nice.
and did some pop some ollies and pop shove-its and whatever other
Kick flips.
skateboarding kickflips, skateboarding terminologies that I did.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, so I think that's it for this episode again. Sean, will you do us the honors?
I will try as always. So, thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Game Rivals. You can find us on your favorite podcasting platform: Spotify, Apple Podcast, Overcast, Google, Stitcher. You name it, we're probably there. Um, You can find us on YouTube as well. We will put the link to this in the description of the episode here. It goes live on the same day as the audio version goes live. Um, you can find us on Twitter, game underscore rivals underscore. You can find Maximilian on Twitter at Maximilian. You can reach us through email, game rivals feedback at gmail.com. You can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Maximilian underscore X or Sean Templar. You can find us on Instagram at Game Rivals and at Maximilian underscore X. And I think I've got them all, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Um, no, well, actually, I no question of the week this week for the Spotify listeners, because we're going to be doing one for our last episode of the year.
Okay.
Um, because I mean, literally, this episode goes up a day before the game, the
Awards.
game awards. So it's kind of pointless to do a question of who do you think will win game of the year. I think we'll post a similar question like that, or ask what your game of the year is, uh, in about 2 weeks. So look forward to that. Um, we'll try and make it something special for the last episode of the year. So please stick around for that. And thank you, as always, for listening. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to rate us on whatever podcasting service that you're on if they support rating. We always appreciate it when you share it with other people. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. Click on subscribe. Give us a like if you're watching this on YouTube. And yeah, that's it.
On that note, I have been and always will be Sean Templar,
And I have been and will always be Maximilian X.
and we'll catch you on the next one.
Later.